the 29th day of the month of November 2025. It is the last Saturday in the month of November. Tomorrow we say goodbye to the month of November and officially welcome the Yuletide season right here in the beautiful city of Calabar. My name is Ryan Henshaw. Like you already know, they call me the spice of the airwaves, and at this point I bring something very special to you. We're having a very special, very prestigious interview with a very special person right here in the studio, right here on UNICAL 103.5 FM. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag just yet. I'm going to leave a little suspense for you to guess who the person is, in as much as it's already all over our social media platforms, but I'm going to give you that opportunity to guess who we have in the studio this morning. When I come back from the break, I'll let you know who he is. Do not touch your dial. It's UNICAL 103.5 FM Calabar, across your state, Nigeria. Music break. That was Big Daddy by Thames. And it's very ironic because we have a Big Daddy in the studio this morning. Like I said earlier, right? Yes, in the studio this morning. He is the Vice-Chancellor designate of the University of Calabar. No other person than Professor Offiong E. He was born in Calabar on November 6, 1963. In 1974, he completed his primary education with a distinction. He proceeded to Hope Waddle Training Institution, Calabar, where he sat for and passed the WASC examination with Division 1 in 1979. He holds a BSc Honours in Chemistry from the University of Calabar, graduating in 1984 with second class upper division. He obtained his PhD in Coordination and Inorganic Chemistry from the same institution in 1990, supported by a DAD scholarship, which enabled him to conduct laboratory research at Ludwig Maximilian Universität, Munich, Germany. He also holds a certificate in equipment maintenance in 1991 from Bristol Polytechnic, UK. Professor Offiong began his academic career in 1985 as a graduate assistant in the Department of Chemistry at the University of Calabar, eventually rising to the rank of Professor of Coordination and Inorganic Chemistry in 2002. He has successfully supervised 7 master's and 16 PhD theses, with one of his PhD students winning the NUC Award for Best Thesis in Physical Sciences in 2012. Several of his mentees are now professors and associate professors. With over 19 peer-reviewed publications, Professor Offiong has served as an external examiner for postgraduate and undergraduate programs at numerous universities in Nigeria. Within UNICAL, he has served as Sub-Dean, Dean of Science, Dean of Student Affairs, and member of the Governing Council from 2000 to 2004. Nationally, he has held roles including ASU Chairman, Zonal Coordinator, and National Vice President. He has also served as Commissioner for Education right here in Cross River State from 2007 to 2015. A period marked by significant infrastructural transformation in schools and improved student performance in external examinations. He contributed to the establishment of the Institute of Technology and Management, UGEP, and the revival of the State College of Education, now the University of Education and Entrepreneurial Studies, ACAMPA. He has also served as chairman of all State Commissioners of Education in Nigeria from 2009 to 2015, and was a member of the Presidential Task Team on Education in 2011 to 2015. Professor Offiong has received numerous international fellowships, visited leading laboratories worldwide, chaired multiple NUC accreditation panels, and served as the Presidential Visitation Panel of Obatemi Awolowo University in 2021. Beyond academia, he has also contributed immensely to community and faith-based services, including serving as the immediate past president of the Boys Brigade Nigeria Cross River State Council and a ruling elder of the Presbyterian Church of Nigeria. He is currently the chair of the Education Committee, Offiong of Calabar Executive Forum, OCEF, and the Education Authority of the Presbyterian Schools in Nigeria. He is married to Professor Mrs. Ame I. Offiong, a professor of finance at University of Calabar, and they are blessed with 3 children, Efanga, Asa, and Eme. With rousing ovation, let's make welcome Professor Offiong Efanga Offiong right here on UNICAL 103.5 FM, the only station that offers you education, information, and of course entertainment 360. A very good afternoon, sir, and welcome to the studio.
Good afternoon.
It's a pleasure to have you join us this afternoon. How are you feeling today?
Well, it's just a normal day, but I think it's quite bright and sunny with a lot of prospect. So I look forward to all what the day will bring.
Amazing. So this is the first time you're actually in our studio. So on a scale of 1 to 10, rate our studio. On a scale of 1 to 10. And I know that you're well traveled. You've gone to a lot of universities worldwide and even in Nigeria. So you've seen a lot of campus radio stations. So rate our own, campus station on a scale of 1 to 10.
Well, I will rate you 6.5.
Sir, 6.5. Why 6.5?
Yes, because one, I would like you to do enough in terms of publicizing this station beyond the university. Number 2, I would like to see this station also coming up with programs that will be educational more, to catch the attention of most of the students and lecturers in the university. And 3, I want to see the station expand more than this. So I don't think 6.5 is too bad.
Oh, it's not bad. I mean, we're a work in progress and we're going to do everything we can to grow more than this. One more time, welcome to UNICAL 103.5 FM. So, sir, in as much as I have, read your biography, but let me hear it from you directly, because everything I read was what I found on social media, online, Wikipedia, and all of that. So let me hear from you personally, right? Who is Professor Offiong Efanga Offiong?
Professor Offiong Efanga Offiong is a man, and he's a product of this university from BSc through PhD. He's a lecturer and a teacher. Sometimes I try to distinguish between the two, because for a teacher you think more about how the student understand, comprehend you, rather than thinking more of how do you deliver your lecture. So I see myself most times as a teacher. And incidental, I've been doing these works since 1985. That's when I was employed in the university as a graduate assistant. and I came in here under 22.
Okay.
So if there is any transformation that my life has witnessed, it is from this university. And if there is any exposure I've had, it's through the springboard this university has given me that I have been what I am. So I've been a professor for 23 years.
Wow.
Yes. And November 6th was my 62nd birthday, 62nd birthday. And I'm a father of 3 children, a boy followed by 2 girls.
Okay.
And I have a strong passion for education, very strong. And that is why I have spent virtually all my life. The only place I've earned salary from is the education sector, which is the university. And also, when I left here to be a commissioner, I served in the Ministry of Education. So I think it has to do largely to my passion for education. And it is all this passion that has also fueled my desire to serve as a Vice-Chancellor, so that I can also have an opportunity to impact on my alma mater at the University of Calabar. And of course, most importantly, bring most of the exposure I've had in the last 40 years to bear with some of the challenges and the dying needs of our university. I think that's all I will summarize myself. So for now, I still remain a teacher. Even as a commissioner, I was teaching. I was coming to lecture. Perhaps also as a Vice-Chancellor, I don't intend to abandon my students. Right now I have enough. I have some courses I haven't finished with my postgraduate and undergraduate students, and it is my desire to complete those courses and continue giving also whatever little time I can muster from my tight schedule to lecture. Basically, I summarize that I'm a very because I believe that it is we that complicate life. Life itself is
very simple. Amazing. Thank you so much, Professor Offiong, for that one. So you've basically done it all. You've been, professor, sub-dean, student affairs, commissioner for education. You've done almost everything. So was there any point where you thought or you knew in your heart that you were going to be Vice-Chancellor someday?
Well, growing up in the system, I've had opportunity of working with very many great scholars who themselves became Vice-Chancellor. Just to name a few of them, I had worked with the former Vice-Chancellor here, Professor E before he became a Vice-Chancellor. I'd also worked with Professor Kanaresian that was here and went to University of U to become the Vice-Chancellor. I've also worked with Professor Ekbu, who was in economics. He was one of the first to leave to become a Vice-Chancellor in UNIU. And a couple of others. Professor Asguo was also the Dean of Agric, an exam officer. When both of us were exam officers together, we worked together, and this scholar inspired me and started making me feel that one day, nursing the idea that one day I may also become a Vice-Chancellor. Because what I could remember about all of them, including late Professor Suko, is that they were all very hard-working scholars. Even on Saturdays, we were meeting ourselves here in the university working. And having grown up on that part where I felt one day I will be. And I started nursing the ambition of becoming a Vice-Chancellor, and it has been my desire, and I thank God that today that desire God has granted me.
Absolutely. To every single person listening to me right now, or listening to us right now, you know that you can actually have a dream and work towards that dream. Maybe you have a dream of becoming the Vice-Chancellor one day, and look at you now, being the 12th Vice-Chancellor of the University of Calabar. Congratulations one more time. So a few days ago, I was having a chat with the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Calabar, the 11th Vice-Chancellor, Professor Florence Bankobi, and she told me about how very rigorous the selection process is for Vice-Chancellors. So let me ask you, what was the most challenging part of the selection process for you, and how did you overcome those challenges?
Well, for me, when you are about 25 seeking for one position, that immediately tells you that it's going to be very competitive. And the more competitive any selection is, the more people looked at very minute details that you may not have thought of. And so through the last few days of preparing for the interview, one was wondering, are there things I have left out that I have not given a thought yet? Or are there things I have not done which I should have done better? And so the challenge was, sometimes you begin to imagine what could be the further details that would be demanded of you that you may be lacking. But above all, I thought, having gone through the interview twice, I had sufficiently prepared myself for this interview of becoming the 12th Vice-Chancellor. And I also prayed seriously. I and my wife, we prayed. And we ask God to grant us the prayer, which did not start today, started since I started nursing this admission of being a Vice-Chancellor. And I think that God did it all for us, because like I've shared with some of my friends, it's getting very, very competitive and difficult to just say this is going to be a Vice-Chancellor. I think I can imagine that was the greatest problem the members of the governing council have had. When you have so many qualified people,
it becomes very tough.
Difficult for you to just pinpoint on one. But eventually there has to be a winner.
Absolutely.
But I believe also that it's God that gives us appointment.
Well, that's really nice. Congratulations one more time. Now, for the fact that you've nursed this idea or this vision of becoming the Vice-Chancellor someday, what was the feeling like when you were finally announced as the 12th Vice-Chancellor of the prestigious University of Calabar?
I may not be able to describe that feeling in 1 to 2 statement sentence, but I think that the thing that came into my mind first was a question. Now you have been announced. What next? And when I tried to think of what next, the other question that came to my mind is that now you have to prove yourself that you have what it takes to deliver as the 12th Vice-Chancellor. And there was a lot of congratulatory message coming in, and each of these congratulatory message coming in keeps reminding me of these 2 questions. And there was the sudden feeling of relief from all the tension, and one was really, to say, happy with, the happiness that goes with winning anything, laurel or election, that happiness was there, but
the sudden realization that there's a new responsibility.
Yes. And that has been preoccupying my mind from the 31st of October till now. But I believe that when God also gives you any position, He does not abandon you. He gives you the grace to be able to achieve what it takes. So for me, it was indeed a big pleasure to be announced as the Vice-Chancellor. And what next is that I have to commit all my energy and time to make a difference.
Absolutely, making a difference, that is very, very important. And we all know that one tree cannot make a forest. You have people that, supported you, people that, helped you push this dream and ensure that it became a reality. Are there special people that you would love to acknowledge and, be grateful for making you who you are today?
Well, I start by acknowledging the chairman of the Governing Council and the members of the Governing Council. They are my employers. They are the ones who have appointed me. For them to allow God to use them to appoint me. And I also would like to thank the President through the Minister of Education for also giving us that level playing ground to be able to go through exercise that is hate-free. When one remembers in some other universities, this exercise has not been concluded. And also I would like to thank His Excellency the Governor of Cross River State too, because he has been very, very concerned about the state of affairs in the University of Calabar, and also has given us what a good host governor should do to make the university to live up to its expectation in terms of delivering on its mandate. And I thank my colleagues and friends and my wife, who was very supportive, and my children, both in prayers and also in helping me to prepare myself adequately for the interview. There are a couple of my colleagues that work with me. For want of time, I may not want to catalog their name, but I believe that most of them may also be listening to this. I acknowledge their support, and I've also told them that this is a journey that I have to go with them. I won't do it alone.
Absolutely.
So for us, it's a journey that we will commit ourselves totally to it, and also to the entire university community. After the election, everybody supported the winner. There is no victor, no vanquish. Everybody supported me, and therefore I will basically bring on board as many as possible that have the interest of University of Calabar, and as many as possible that have ideas that will help towards the development of the University of Calabar.
Amazing.
And this, for me, will be the pattern of this administration within the next 5 years.
Amazing. That's really, really wonderful. So let's talk about a little bit about the current administration, the Florence Obi administration. Are there any lessons? Are there any initiatives or policies that you would love to, imbibe in your own administration? Or are there anything that you would like to, learn from her administration to help you, to aid you, in your own administration?
Yes, this administration, the outgoing administration under Professor Florence Obi, has done quite an amazing job in the University of Calabar. One of them is this station we are sitting.
Absolutely.
For me, it was quite innovative of her, and also quite a number of other policies like the digitalization of exams records, which initially appeared not to have had the buy-in of the lecturers, but she fought and ensured that this has now come to stay. A lot, even the digitization of promotion, which she has done, quite a lot of noble things that have come upstream. The natural thing is to sustain all this policy. They may have also one or two areas that we need to address, like challenges. There is no policy that will not have a few challenges, and we also will learn from some of those challenges and perfect them. The campus is growing massively. There has been a lot of intervention in terms of structures, but the structure too will still need to be complemented, especially in the areas of classroom administration, which I don't particularly think we have enough classroom for our students right now. So those are the things we will try to do. And above all, there is the goodwill the university has also attracted in the last 5 years. We intend to build on some of this goodwill for the growth of the university. I think she did well, and in each of the successive administration has been able to establish one thing or the other, and so also by the time we are living in 5 years, by the grace of God, we would be able to do our best to also carry the University of Calabar forward. My idea, as a matter of fact, is for us to, I hear people always try to compare, when they talk about other second generation university, like Ilorin, Jos, Port Harcourt, Maiduguri, and Bayero Kanu. People think they have gone too far ahead of us, but I believe that we'll try to show the people that the University of Calabar has come up really high. We intend to also publicize some of the positive things that we have done, and that is where your radio comes in. And that was what I said, that your reach out should be beyond just the state. We need to publicize a lot of the positive things that is happening in the university. I believe that the world will soon realize that there's a lot of potential in the University of Calabar.
I agree. I mean, at the end of the day, there's room for improvement.
Thank you.
Okay, so every leader has their own vision. Every administration comes in with its own vision, its own initiative. So for you, what is the Professor Offiong's initiative like? What are you coming with? What's your vision for the University of Calabar?
First, number one is to enthrone excellence in our academic, both teaching, learning, and research. We need to also be innovative, because often those who have made it in life are people who are able to break out of the convention. So for me, innovation is going to be very key, and will also be governed by integrity. So it's not going to be business as usual. There are a lot of things that are not in conformity with what an academic environment should be. For example, the issue of sorting, the issue of admission related SACA that has characterized the airwaves when UNICAL is mentioned. We are going to work to ensure that those kind of things are not associated with the university. But above all, we hope to be able to prepare our students, in addition to having your first degree in whichever field of endeavor, but you must also have some skill, lifelong skill. I'm not sure you study broadcasting.
Not at all.
I've heard the manager did public health, but today you are manning the radio station.
Yes, sir.
And this is the skill that you may have developed elsewhere. So we will also ensure that we are able to give people an opportunity, the student in particular opportunity, to acquire new skill. So that if you come out, you may not necessarily have to wait for what you study to earn you a life, a salary, employment. You can also be an employer of labor. And this is happening in some other universities. We talk about business incubation in Lagos. I think there is another university in the West that is looking at that. So we also have to have a startup program for a lot of business without disrupting the academic process in the University of Calabar. So for me, the key word would be excellence, innovation, and integrity. And that is what will marshal the administration for the next 5 years.
Amazing. Innovation, integrity, and excellence. Those are the bedrock of the Professor Offiong administration. So now, with your first year in office in view, what are the top 3 things you're going to prioritize about the University of Calabar? I'm sure you are already having those thoughts right now. So what are the top 3 things that you're going to prioritize in the University of Calabar?
The first thing is rebranding the University of Calabar. For me, that is a task that must be done, because once we're able to rebrand and get the right image for the University of Calabar, it will attract us a lot of things, both goodwill. And the second thing is to sanitize whatever issue that has characterized our admission process in the University of Calabar. And in the third thing is to upgrade our entrepreneurial development center to be able to prepare our students adequately for some lifelong skill acquisition. So for the first 1 year, we are going to work on this, among other things.
Okay, so the university has gone, very digital. Like you said earlier, we're now having, digitalized learning, and it's easy for students to access their portal and admission and, results on time via the online portal and all of that. We're going to have the UNICAL ID, where, students can get their ID cards very virtually and even use it anywhere, even in the hospital. We also have the radio station, right, that transmits information, education, and entertainment. So how do you plan to leverage on these digital tools to enable your administration?
Well, thank you. First and foremost, I think that one, the issue of delay in getting transcript should be a thing of the past with this. I take that for granted, because if we're able to get all our results digitally under control, we should be able to deliver transcript for our students anywhere in the world without delay. Number 2, we should be able to also be able to determine beyond the level of attendance in the school with the ID card that we have. We'll also provide technology that enables students to be able to access part of their lecture anywhere in the world. And so you don't need to be physically present in the university to attend lecture. Whether you are physically present or also virtually, your attendance can still be determined
through the ID.
So this I believe will further build on some of these gains that the university administration has already established in the area of ICT. There is an intervention also to digitalize records of staff. That is ongoing, and the outgoing Vice-Chancellor has briefed me extensively on that. And I think that's a very welcome development, and I believe that this will also drastically reduce undue alterations of service record, and will be able to now control who is really a staff and who is not a staff in the University of Calabar. And I believe that the possibilities for us will be endless with getting the right technology to build on these successes.
I mean, the world has gone very digital, so it's just right that we follow suit. Okay, so there's no university without the students. The students are literally the bedrock of the university. So how does your administration intend to improve on student welfare?
Thank you. Incidentally, I was the first chairman of student welfare board in this university when I was the dean of students. And so I'm very familiar about student services generally.
Okay.
And therefore I want to assure you that we are going to pay particular attention on student services. Some of the challenges most of our students are having, like some of them who are not able to meet up with the funding, the little minimal funding that is required to see them through in the university. I will sustain the Vice-Chancellor scholarship.
Okay.
And also give them an opportunity to do some work, minimal job, while at the same time going through their school. And I will also bring in funds from other philanthropies to help us expand on this student scholarship. In other words, have as many more students on board. We want to also look at NEL fund. How many of our children are enjoying NEL fund? And maybe also set up some counseling to enable some of them who may not really understand the essence of this NEL fund, student loan scheme, to be able to key in. And above all, I will maintain constant dialogue with the student to know their problem, and I believe that by just knowing their problem, we will be in a position to begin to make their load, most of the crises that ordinarily would have exploded to be under control.
Okay.
University.
Okay, amazing. Just in case you want to, ask the Vice-Chancellor any questions or, give him any goodwill message, you can call us right now, 0819 4444058. You can send an SMS to that number or head on to our Facebook at UNICAL Radio International, type your comments, and it's going to be read live on radio. Now, aside the students, you also have the staff in the University of Calabar. Are there any initiatives that you intend to use in order to improve staff productivity and boost overall well-being of staff in the University of Calabar?
As a former labor union leader in this university, having been in ASU as a vice chairman and later as a chairman, even at the national as a national vice president, I will pay particular attention to staff welfare. There are a couple of their demands which I believe will have to be addressed. The challenge that used to be a challenge in the past has been addressed by the outgoing Vice Chancellor, so there will be no delay in promotion. Promotions are now as at when due. And so therefore the issue of arrears may not come up. Even if it does, we'll also ensure that those who are legitimately entitled to arrears will be paid. There will be a lot of reward for good work, hard work. There will be reward. And the reward may also be attract some financial benefit. And again, I will maintain very open line of discussion, communication with all the labor unions on campus, so that we can together find a way of addressing their problem without delay.
Amazing, amazing. There's one really good thing about the current administration, or the outgoing administration, the Florence Obi administration, and that is the open communication system, where she's able to hear from students, hear their complaints, and get their feedback. Is that something that your administration is willing to also bring in?
Yes, even as a commissioner for education, my phone numbers were all with the student. I've only had one phone number which I started using since 2002, and my lines are very open to the student.
Okay.
And I pray that they will make good use of that rather than abuse that privilege. And I believe also that a student must not suffer in silence. I'm going to also have a student union. I will have also a dean of student affairs that will also have a listening ear to them. And the idea now that there is also a deputy dean of student affairs will be maintained by me, so that because the population of students have increased, and as much as possible we will try to open up more access of the student to the administration on areas that are focused on their welfare and services. So they can communicate to me, I have no problem. And that also will be the directive I will give to who will be my Dean of Student Affairs, to have an open communication with the student. So there will be no shying away from my job as administration as far as our student populations are concerned.
Amazing, amazing. It's good to have a leader who listens to the people that he's leading. So now let's talk about collaborations and partnerships. It's very important to partner and collaborate with as many people as possible. So how do you intend to collaborate with alumni, with the host community of UNICAL and other external partners in order to foster your vision for the University of Calabar?
Thank you. I'm already discussing with the national president of UNICAL Alumni Association.
Okay.
2 days ago, I extended an invitation to him to attend the investiture of the 12 Vice-Chancellor in person, which he has also accepted to be around. I have also extended some invitation to the village clan head of the host community, and he has also accepted to be around. There's going to be a directorate in charge of community engagement and collaboration, and that community will also work with them. They may not be at too much of expense to the university to strive towards having very cordial relationship with the immediate community, or very cordial relationship with our alumni association. I believe it will be a mutual beneficial relation. And I've also shared my idea of alumni association with the current president. God has blessed us. We have very many top government functionaries in Abuja presently who are alumni of the University of Calabar. We want to see how this can also be accessible. They can be accessible to us towards leveraging on how to plow back to our university some funding, some project, and other collaborative venture. And I also intend to collaborate extensively with most of the funding agency, because there's still a lot of work to do. As we're expanding, so also our demand expanding. And I believe that this will be able to engage meaningfully, and we'll be able to build a lot of build also on the gains of the previous administration, where they had done some work, to see how we can further gain from some of those relationships.
Okay, amazing. Okay, we have a few messages from students. Someone says, okay, well, let's see. Okay, besides, is there a plan to address the issue of students in the College of Medical Sciences, particularly the Faculty of Medical Laboratory Sciences, that lacks enough facilities to cater for the students they have admitted so far, thereby leading to their prolonged stay in school? The 500 level students and 400 A level students of this faculty have been in their current levels since they finished their previous levels in July last year. So that's for you, sir.
Well, I need to be probably brief about those challenges. I'm aware of those of dentistry, and I've also discussed with the outgoing Vice-Chancellor about that of dentistry, and she has briefed me on what they are currently doing, and I will build on that. I think we'll be able to resolve that problem in dentistry.
Okay.
On this one, I need to be brief about the challenges. But remember, I said from the beginning that one of the areas I will, in terms of infrastructural development, I will also wish to invest a bit on is classroom facilities and all that. So when we talk about classroom, it goes also by station to studio, to laboratory, etc. So it's not just about just the ordinary classroom. So we are going to expand the facilities available to the student generally within the campus.
Okay, so let's take one more message before we continue. This one says, would the over admission of students into medical faculties be addressed in line with the various medical councils regulations? The over-admission is causing issues at various levels across the College of Medical Sciences.
The answer is yes, and it is currently being done.
Okay.
And we will continue to do that and ensure that none of our students will be unduly delayed out of administration administrative mistake, one way or the other. But I can assure you that it's being addressed. And good enough, UNICAL too has come of age. Many of our colleagues are also in most of these medical and dental council. We are discussing.
Okay. Okay, amazing. So let's move forward with Monday in view. What is your state of mind right now? Because Monday is literally just a day, 2 days away from now, and you're going to be inaugurated as the 12th Vice-Chancellor of the University of Calabar. What's the feeling like? What's your state of mind right now?
Frankly speaking, it's just normal. I see Monday just like a normal day, and I just accept the fact that yes, it's going to be a new schedule of life for me from Monday. Already I've been trying to come to terms with a new schedule of social life. I no longer have freedom. My house, the guests I receive in my house daily, like as I was rushing out here to attend to this program, I have nothing less than 200 to 300 people still in my compound.
Oh, wow.
So basically, the excitement of the 1st December is just momentary. It will be done. But the reality is the work where I am entering into. So what I think more is what I am entering into and how do I prepare myself in terms of selecting a team that will be able to work with me to deliver. I pray that God will do that for me. But as for the 1st of December, in terms of the ceremony, okay. I mean, I am just indifferent. Fine, if it, we will go there, and after it, I start my work. Okay. That's all I can say.
Okay, amazing. So we have a message here. This is from Joseph Carafon. It says, "Good day, sir. As the newly appointed Vice-Chancellor, will your administration uphold and possibly strengthen the long-standing policy of retaining first-class graduates as lecturers in the University of Calabar?"
The answer is yes, and because I've talked about, I will promote and enthrone excellence in the University of Calabar, and therefore we will retain as many first class as we have.
Okay, amazing. So I'm going to ask you this question now, and during the course of your tenure, I'm still going to ask you this question. Now, how do you intend to balance work life and your family life? Like you already said, right now you don't have any social life anymore. So how do you intend to balance your work life and your family life? Because we need you as Vice-Chancellor, but your family also needs you as their father. So how do you intend to balance these two very important roles?
Yeah, interesting. Good enough, my wife is a professor. So she also understands the university system as much as I do.
Okay.
My children were all born here in this university, and they know. So my family life cannot be neglected. Cannot be neglected. My responsibility as a father will not be neglected. I have to make time for that. And my responsibility towards my faith in God can also not be downplayed. I am a ruling elder of the Presbyterian Church of Nigeria.
Okay.
And I must also find time to attend to my church activities.
Okay.
And so we have to balance all these things. It may not be as good as when I wasn't a Vice-Chancellor, but I will not neglect any of them.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so we have a message here again, and it says, "One of the challenges students face in the university is accommodation. Both freshers and returning students have accommodation challenges. Hostel accommodation is not enough for students. It's not enough for students, okay? And the price of houses outside school is alarming. What measures would your administration put in place in order to checkmate these challenges?"
Well, thank you. Again, the outgoing Vice-Chancellor has briefed me of initiative to build some new hostels through a PPP. And I've had two proposals of other public-private partnership too on accommodation for students. I can tell you that we'll continue to do the much we can to increase the number of bed spaces that we have also in the student accommodation area. And besides, there is need also for, and that is why we want a very cordial relationship with the host community. Because there's hardly any university that can accommodate all their students. And so we have quite a catchment of host community surrounding the university.
Okay.
And with a cordial relationship, the student can also stay there freely without issues. So I believe that directorate, which will be set up in the course of my administration, will have a lot to do in terms of mediating sometime between the host community and the student, particularly in the area that are likely going to cause friction, one of which is the incessant increase in rents. So if we have that kind of a collaboration, it will be difficult for most people to, without prompt notice, just shoot their rent to this guy. But we will do the much we can in terms of providing hostel accommodation or within the campus for the student.
Okay.
And I believe that in the next 2 years there should be some relief in that direction.
Okay. 009 4444 I'll take that again, 009 4444 You can send your SMS to that number or call that number if you have any question for the Vice-Chancellor or you have any concerns that you want to inform him about. So, sir, how do you intend to partner with the Students' Union government in order to have a smooth reign as the Vice-Chancellor?
I'm very open to them. Last night, they were in my house and we were discussing, and so essentially I see them as I see my children also. And I don't think that we will have any issue with the student union government. I don't think also that we will even have problems about here sometimes there is this perception of imposing leadership on them. No? As the dean of students, I was one dean of students that conducted one of the freest and fairest student union election in this campus. That was 2006. And I still meet those who were in that government. Until today, they still celebrate me. So I will also want to assure them that the student government will enjoy all that which is due to them under my tenure as the Vice-Chancellor.
Amazing, Professor Offiong E. It's been a very interesting chat with you. But before we let you go, what are your last words to students and staff and even the general public listening to you and awaiting your inauguration as the 12th Vice-Chancellor of the University of Calabar?
My first parting word for now is that the student, the staff, and indeed the general public should pray for the University of Calabar so that we'll be able to save them better. Secondly, we will do our best to save them. We also need the cooperation of the student, the cooperation of staff, and also the cooperation of the public. And lastly, it is more of an appeal to the general public. Let's look at UNICAL with some positive mindset. I know a lot of things has happened where people seem to have some misconception about the University of Calabar. The issue of admission is something that is very fresh in the minds of a lot of people. And they should not be in a hurry. They should give us time. Some of these matter will be a thing of the past. Let them believe in us and be more positive. We want to also appeal that let people not always be in a hurry to propagate negative information about the university. As the good things are coming out of the university, let people also propagate them. And I think by that, they will make us to save them more and more. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Professor Offiong E. You have been, such an inspiration. I've listened to you, and we look forward to seeing all those things come to play during your tenure as Vice-Chancellor. Don't forget the investiture of the Vice-Chancellor is going to be on Monday, 1st December 2025 at the Gospel Radio International Conference Center, University of Calabar by 11 a.m. Ensure you avail yourself and come and witness this grand occasion happening right here at the University of Calabar. My name remains Fine Henshaw, and this is the most going to take on this episode of the show right here in the 123.5 FM. Do enjoy the rest of our broadcast coming your way shortly, and do have an amazing day ahead. Good afternoon.
Thank you. That was good. Sorry.